Good afternoon, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your second video blog of the day for Tuesday, June 7, 2016, around 5:07 in the afternoon, Billerica, Massachusetts. It's a very nice and sunny day, but feels like a sauna out there. Humid in the 70s and 80s. The clouds are racing through. Could get some boomers tonight, and that's the leading edge of cooler weather. The rest of the week's going to be 10 to 15 degrees below average, but it's good weather. It's kind of perfect weather. Can't complain. Could be 6-7 feet of snow in some other months. Some news to report. Billerica Memorial High School is going to have the 2016 graduation tonight at 6:30 at the Tsongas Center at UMass Lowell. So congratulations to the graduating class of Billerica Memorial High School. Wish they had the high school graduation at the Marshall Middle School field, but they haven't had that since 2001. Sad news to report in the world of Hollywood. Actress Teresa Santana passed away at the age of 61, so prayers to her family. And today's show co-host Savannah Guthrie has announced she's having a baby. This will be her second child. She already has a daughter. And that's about it on news. My second video blog subject of the day is about potential Big 12 expansion. Big 12 is a college conference that actually has 10 teams. The teams are Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, Texas, Texas Tech, Baylor, Kansas, Kansas State, Iowa State, TCU, and West Virginia. The Big 12 was formed in 1996 when the Big 8 merged with were 4 teams from the Southwest Conference, and they became the Big 12, and they had a football tournament to get an automatic berth in the BCS back then. And they were other teams in the Big 12 were like Colorado, Nebraska, Missouri, and Texas A&M. But in 2011, unrest happened with the Big 12 because of the Longhorn Network formed by the University of Texas and ESPN. It got many Big 12 schools pissed about that. Texas A&M and Missouri left the Big 12 conference to join the SEC. Colorado went to join the Pac-12. The Pac-10, which expanded to the Pac-12, and Nebraska jumped to the Big 10, which the Big 10 has 14 teams. That does not make sense. There are 14 teams, and the Big 10 has 10 teams. And it left the Big 12 without a football tournament to end the season to get a berth in the BCS, but that's gone with the college football playoff, and the Big 12 is one of the Power 5 conferences for football and basketball, where they get a lot of big seeds for it. And NCAA rules state that conferences must have 12 teams to play a football playoff game to decide a football championship. But next year, 2017, the Big 12 is going to have a playoff championship to determine who is the Big 12 champion, and this will help them get into the National Football Playoff semifinals, because the past few years, Baylor and TCU and Oklahoma and had some very good teams, but they did not qualify for they did not get a spot in the National College Football semifinal playoff because the Big 12 does not have a tournament, and the committee probably favors conferences with tournaments. Not tournaments, I mean championship football games to determine the conference championship. And for the Big 12 to get seriously looked for the National College Football semifinal playoffs, they need to add 2 teams ASAP. Some of the teams that could fit the Big 12 is, one, look into the state of Texas and consider the Houston Cougars, who are in the top 25 in major polls this year, preseason polls. They have a great football program. They play in the All-American Conference, or like the Athletic American Conference, whatever they call it. That's a decent conference, but it's not a Power 5 conference. They are very good in football, and they are decent in basketball. I think that's one school the Big 12 should consider adding, because they could have rivalries with Texas, Texas Tech, Baylor, and TCU. Another school that the Big 12 should look at is adding BYU, Brigham Young University. Then independent in both basketball and football. They have a decent football and basketball programs, but the problem with them is they have a television network, which, that the Big 12 kind of discourages that because of the Texas fiasco, but that would be a perfect opportunity for a team to come into the Big 12, because if they get the football contract, they'd be all set. Another school they should look into for expanding the Big 12 is Boise State. Boise State's very, very good in football, and they're showing promise in basketball. They play in the Mountain West Conference, and it will be good to expand to the West Coast area, near the West Coast. Also, the Big 12 should consider looking maybe east for some expansion. Maybe Cincinnati, that plays in the AC, or even considering Connecticut in the East Coast. Connecticut's not a powerhouse in football, but it's awesome in basketball. So those are some options that the Big 12 should consider in the next few years to become the Big 12 again. There's also been kind of rumors that the Big 12 might be plucking some major schools from the other big conferences, but that's just rumors in my humble opinion. I've also heard rumors that trying to get Notre Dame, but that's never going to happen. Notre Dame will never go in a conference for football because they are independent, and they have that television deal with NBC, and the Big 12 discourages television networks owned by schools or television contracts. And that's about it on that. I will be back for the third and final video blog of the night, which will be my personality profile. Tonight's personality profile was WPAIX, a morning meteorologist, Linda Church. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Benning guy. Molly Rose brother. WCCO rocks and has nice legs. Elizabeth Hotso, so stunning. She's the best. Amy Swensy's awesome. Bob Gibbs of ABC 11 has that sweet southern accent. And in the words of WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley, aka Cactus Jack, aka Doodlet, aka Mankind, bang bang, or have a nice day, and whoa, have mercy. It's Mick Foley's 51st birthday, so happy birthday to him.